The second winner bout of Gorilla MMA Series has found its owner. That is the main result of the Gorilla MMA Series-34 Heart and Fist of Bashkortostan event, which was held on June 12 in Ufa. And it is precisely with a title fight in which Alexander Duramanov and Ali Mashrapov came together, the changes of statistics of the series have occurred as a result of this title fight. Alexander Duramanov, after 3 consecutive victories in the events of Gorilla MMA Series, was granted with the right to participate in the title fight. The examiner Ali Mashrapov is more than serious, who by this point had 10 wins in 13 fights. The fight was equal and only minor but visible advantage of activity in the course of almost the entire fight allowed the judges to unanimously give win to Duramanov. Thus, Duramanov became the second fighter after Oleg Popov to win the title fight. This was the 4th victory of Duramanov in 4 fights held in the Gorilla MMA Series. It allowed him to take a firm step forward in his pursuit of leaders on that score. Alexander joined a large group of fighters with 4 victories, making him the 8th in this company of pursuers. But if in the ranking of the numbers of victories, Duramanov is only 1 step to the first position, then in the total number of fights carried out in Gorilla MMA Series, he is yet not a leader. Here is Artem Simonov, and behind him by 1 fight, Mark Balagdin feels more than comfortable. Indeed, not every fighter will be able to compete at this rate, 7-8 octagon appearances in a year. But for the moment, we know the fact that Alexander Duramanov separates from the leader in this index in 4 fights. Now let's see how the other ratings have changed. Here we've been tracking Dmitry Andrushko. In April of this year, he held his first fight in the Gorilla MMA Series and knocked Denis Yuzura down with confidence. In Ufa, we had every right to expect his second victory by knockout, and he won by a submission. It took Dmitry just over 3 minutes to prove his superiority over Hassan Isaev, who had by now 3 victories at 0 losses. As a result, the knockout ratings in Ufa remain unchanged. Yakov Akimov, Sergey Maslov, and Mark Balagdin are 3 leaders here. They're being chased by a large group of 22 fighters, and any event can change the ranking of the strikers. And we would like to draw your attention to a fighter who made his professional debut in Ufa and won his starting fight by knockout. What we saw in the performance of Alexei Kerminov is not often seen in the performance of lightweights. Short, clear stroke, knockout. These are the moments that decorate the events, and it is especially pleasant that we saw this episode in the very beginning of the undercard, in the first fight of the event. And finally, let's go to victories by submissions. The Gorilla MMA Series-34 Heart and Fist of Bashkortostan event did not make changes in the sections of statistics, but it's worth paying attention to one of the 2 leaders. Vladimir Yurusov has spent in Gorilla MMA Series 4 fights, and all 4 fights he won by techniques. By the way, all the victories were won in the first rounds. And we are preparing to meet Vladimir Yurusov again in the near future. On June 26, he will hold his 5th fight in the series and has a chance to move up in several statistic rankings at once. If Yurusov wins, no matter how will he do it, he will catch up with the leaders in terms of victories. And if he wins, he will be the sole leader in the number of victories scored by the submission. A good prospect which should further encourage Vladimir to win. But there is another incentive. Let's not forget that all his competitions at the professional level Yurusov have held in the Gorilla MMA Series events. It was here that he made his debut and began his career. Accordingly, in this first fight, and rivals were not tough. Therefore, despite the 4 victories he has won, he cannot yet claim the winner bout for the fight leading the winning series, which means he has to prove his right to a title fight in a new fight of a higher level than an incentive. But it won't be easy. His rival is Dmitry Krivulets. Dmitry scored 5 wins. All 5 were won in the first rounds and 4 of them by submissions. Interesting pair turns out. Intrigue. How it will end and how our ratings will change, we will know about very soon on June 26 at the Gorilla MMA Series-35 Time of New Heroes event. And by the way, there will be many interesting fights.